Hello everyone, welcome to the two free sessions that we planned from ITeLearn to give you the basic idea and the basic knowledge of how we can move forward in getting our skill set into the market and find the right suitable job that will fit our profile. What is it that we really need to do and how are the steps lined up for us to take that direction? It's not rocket science team. It is something that most of you are very well aware, but at the same time it always helps to put some structure to this madness, and that's the reason we wanted to talk about this in a very organized manner. So like the email went out to all of you, we had a few agenda items. Do you all remember, team, what they were? What are the 5 steps that kind of put forward? Mhm. So I'm seeing some random answers, but what's the first thing that will come, team? What is the first thing that is important? Yeah, great. So some of you have done a great point by just copy pasting from the email, and that's not bad, team, not at all. It's to leverage what we have, and that's very important. So the first thing, yes, is a resume. The resume is very critical, team, because without a resume, even your own spouse cannot get you into a company. There's no possibility. That's the most important thing. And that will make it's like a face in the open world. It talks about you, it talks about who you are. It has to really magnify your whole personality, your whole skill set, your entire experience in it. Having an amazing resume makes the whole difference, team. That is the starting point of a win and a loss. So when you go into battle, when you go into war, you need to have the right ammunition, and your resume is the most critical. It is a sum total of who you are today, presented in the best manner. All right. What comes next, everyone? Once you create the resume, what happens next? See, guys, skills is something that comes prior to resume. Once you started your resume, you're talking about as of today, what do I have? So if we're talking skill set improvement, no, we're not focused there. Today, who you are. Today, as of 8th of Feb, what should you make? That is most important. Today is the 8th, right? Yep. How do you market the resume? How do you get it out into the world? How do someone see it? It's very simple, team. I can build the most beautiful Taj Mahal, or we could build the most beautiful castles or the pyramids of the world. If we don't have people coming and seeing it, it is just hidden to very few eyes. How do we make it visible across the whole globe to the right people at the right time? That is to market your resume. And your job portals are going to do that exactly for you. All right. What is the third thing? Your resume is good. You got found in the market resume. What's going to happen next? You're going to receive the telephone call. You're going to see a telephonic call coming in, and where people are going to screen you. And this is not just a screening on your skill. This is a lot on the HR side, like where are you placed, what visa are you on, and so on. It is also on your skill side. How good are you to take to the next level? The final one is the in-person interview. And lot of times, even this may or may not happen to you, or a client call. So this is not necessarily that something happens, but believe it or not, this is a huge impact. Why? You got a closure in your hand. you can close it. You can close the position. These are the 4 important things, team. Now, there is an entire kind of a thing that I put together in this half a day placement workshop. I'm going to take this link and put it into this document. And I'll share this document with everyone, team. But this, I don't think we need to edit this. But this kind of a job workshop that we did a few years back talks about a lot of these things, team. So it talks about building a resume in a very, very detailed manner. How do we get your resume viewed, which is posting it, taking the first level interview calls sometimes. So the same interview calls are split it into the HR or non-technical and then the technical in-person interview. How do we make the closure, negotiate your job offer and so on. And what do you do before you get to your job, and a little bit on mock interviews. So these 8 phases have been detailedly explained. The intent of today's session and the day after as well is to walk you through very briefly more from a software testing perspective. We're not talking about from everything. So more from a software testing and automation. This is what it is, team, that we're going to talk about. So let's start with the first one for today, the resume. What should it have? What should it really contain? And how do we make sure that our resume speaks a lot? So before we get into that, the questions, team, that we need to ask. Should a resume talk more or less? So when I say this, should we talk more about ourselves or less about ourselves? Like today, this is Karthik. Should I write something more than what is Karthik, or should I write something less than? And we're also talking about what is truth and what is false in that. And Manoj, as I go along, I would love you to add points and speak a little bit on these things. I'll do a few things first and then you can take over. So question to all of you, team. What should a resume do? Should we talk more or should we talk less? All right, I'm just trying to look at the responses from the chat. And wow, team, we've got 106 people in this session today. That's amazing. So I've got a lot of things, team. I wish I had a poll for it because it's not a prepared session. It's more of an impromptu talk on this. But it's not a talking, team. We're not talking what do you talk. It's about what do you put into the resume. So the equal answers, team: more, less, precise, balanced, should talk whatever we have. It should have truth about yourself. Talk enough to show the skills. Balance, talk to the point. Okay, team. Now, let me ask you this. This is very critical. Why do you need a resume? Why do you need it? Because you got to get recognized somewhere. Someone has to find you, right? When they see it, they're going to look at it. What is the challenge, team, that all of us have in the QA world? What are the challenges we have? First and foremost, absolutely yes, competition. Amazing competition. From who all? Everywhere. We have the citizens, we have the green card holders, we have now the H4 EADs, right? And we have students, we have someone from a different industry altogether, nothing to do with IT. We have people coming in as the regular, and I don't mean to say from a bad or insulting point, team, just that our competition is this. There are homemakers, There are people who have no experience. Everyone is getting into this. Why are they doing it? They're doing it because IT pays well. There are decent jobs. QA is the easiest entry into IT. That's it. H1B is, I mean, there's no question about H1 as well. And this is absolutely a challenging marketing. So let's say I post for one manual testing position. Can you imagine, team, how many people will apply for it? One manual testing position. I'm open for contracting, open for full time. I wouldn't say thousands, but at least 200, 300 team. The same number would have been 100, maybe 3-4 years ago. So who all will apply? All the above, all this above. There will be manual testers. There will be automation engineers. And I'll start with non-testers to begin with. Someone who's really not a tester and trying to make a break. Then there are functional or domain-based people. And there are QA managers. Oops, where am I? I think I closed my browser or it crashed. Guess too fast typing. I should reduce my speed on it. Okay, so this was luckily on the Google Drive. So hopefully most of it should be there. So JPact. Somewhere here. Yep. I hope I don't have to repeat typing. Oh my goodness. Okay, yeah, not bad. I think it's kind of got everything. Right, team? Can you all see it? So, a functional domain talent. Then you have QA managers. Then you have other IT people in general who are looking for a change. Do you believe, team, there's so many people right now in the IT industry who's willing to switch into QA? Primarily for the simple reason that I can find a job locally which is still decent enough for me to go through it. So what does this mean? If for one position that I put forward and I get 200, 300 people, same rate, I'm going to say, for example, $50 per hour. That is standard. And I'm saying this is Los Angeles. This is where the candidate needs to come and work. And I get 200, 300 people. Do you think humanly it is possible for me to have 200 to 300 reviews of resume? And I can go through all of them to find the right candidate? So very simple, team. It's like this. If you're getting a better product for the same price, would you go for the regular product or will you go for the upgrade? So people will upgrade. I have decided my rate, I've decided the position, I've decided this. But who among these A to H will I go for, team? Who will I look at first? How will I shortlist at a resume level? Who will I choose? You have A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. What will be the choice? Team, we have over 100 people in this session. Who will you choose? No. So this is not part of it. Sorry, team. The $50 Los Angeles G and H, forget it, team. A to F. This is it. All right, there you go. Now here's the thing, team. Here's the critical things. And I'm seeing so many responses here. So many responses. Team, let's say Karthik today is putting this requirement. Non-testers, I'll eliminate first. Okay. This is not what I want to do. So this is gone. Manual testers is what I want. But then let's say function domain talent. Okay, sounds good. Same price, but they don't know testing as a practice. QA managers, man, this person is looking for a interim thing, and then they want to jump to a different company, so they're going to be jumpers. IT people, okay, but again, not core thing. So all of this is wiped out, team. It's only between these three, and the best I would choose is automation engineers. That is it. That is it. You need to have the right words in your resume to get screened from this 200, 300 people, to get shortlisted, to come to the 20 odd people who will get the next call. You understand that, team? Resume should never ever talk less. Why? Who sees your resume, team? Tell me. I'm talking from an eyes perspective. Who is actually looking at your resume? Hiring manager, QA manager, HR, consulting companies. Correct? Anyone else that sees your resume? And this is going to be shocker, team. I'm 100% sure I'll not get a single answer, correct answer. I said it and I got the right answer. Anyone else, team? Consultant, HR, right? Sandeep Sandeep Reddivari, you are absolutely perfect. Ruxana, you got it right as well. I didn't expect it, team. Anil, you did as well. It's gonna be a software, a tool, a computer. Who's gonna look at your profile first, team? Why? They're gonna search to find you. All right. So your resume must have the right keywords to get found. Bad English. To be found. If your resume does not have the right keywords, there's no way you're going to be found. You're going to be in a total abyss. You're lost in space. No one's ever going to see you ever. You're gone forever. If you don't have the right keywords, team. You need to have the right keywords. Now, out of the 108 people in today's session, you are not necessarily all going to be automation engineers. Yes or no? Is everyone automation engineers here, team? Are you all Selenium experts? So you're not Selenium experts, right? Then why should you talk about Selenium in the profile? Why? Team, there's nothing much that I'm kind of sharing. Same screen. I hope you all can see. Because you want to be found. Then how can you lie? Should I say that, oh, I've done a Selenium project, for 3 years, I'm a Selenium engineer, I'm the best one you'll find in the world? No, I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is say, I know, aware of Selenium, WebDriver, have seen Selenium IDE. I'm not saying lie it, but keep it there. Keep whatever you know. Talk about other tools also. Let's say HPALM or HPUFT. There is nothing wrong in putting the names of the tools that are popular in the market and the fact that you're aware. Are you 1% aware or an expert at 100%? Does not matter. Is it there on your resume or not is the first point. Why? You will be lost otherwise. You will be lost in space. No one's going to watch you. And you need to repeat the keywords. How do we repeat it? Multiple times, over and over again. That becomes very critical. You have to put it as part of your summary, as part of your skills, as part of multiple projects. See, I'll tell you a simple statement, team. How about if I write, I was the QA engineer, my team was working on Selenium WebDriver and was building automation frameworks. My focus has been on sort manual testing only. Is it wrong? Team, can you all see my screen? Or it's gone? You can all see my screen, right? Okay. A couple of people said they cannot. So please check it in team. So you need to say that what I did, but what my team did as well. And I saw it happening. And that is fine. I will never recommend or ever say, or I won't lie, I will not ever let anyone do that team. We want to do it honest job on this. On everything we do. That has to be there. There's no question. But write the truth, no? Say that I've attended free sessions from Karthik or ITeLearn and I've seen a lot of free videos on YouTube and I know the basics of it. Fine, but put it on your resume. You don't put it, you're lost in space, guys. It's like that movie. What's that? Gravity? Sandra Bullock and who was that? Other guy? The hero. Oh my goodness, I forgot. It just struck me.
George Clooney, Karthik.
Thanks, Manoj. George Clooney. He's lost. He's gone. Right? So team, don't be lost in space. You need to be found. Have the right keywords. Have the right resumes, skills, projects. Let your resume be 3-4 pages. So what did people tell team? Have a 1-page resume, 2-page resume. Don't have a 10-page resume. Forget it. Have a 4-page resume. Don't worry. It's not about how short it is. If I have to make my resume today and I want the right people, I'll put a 1-page resume. But if I'm really desperately looking for a job, do not think that how many pages you need. 3 to 4 pages team is absolutely fine. I don't think you should compromise on it just because someone does not have it. But have a great summary, no? That they can look at it and say, yes, this is right or this is wrong. How repeating the keyword helps? So some of the questions. Why? Because I'm searching, right? It's a search engine. What do these job portals like Dice, Monster, Career Builder, Indeed and all use, team? They use search engines, algorithms, right? That is the way we're going to be found. And they will look at the rate when it shows up. Okay, this person's profile is talking too much about WebDriver. Or let's say they're talking too much about Jira. There's Jira mentioned 5 times in the resume. So keep it keyword intense. Repeat it as many times as you can. Even if you don't know, say, look at my free videos team. On YouTube channel, you've got everything. Say that, you know what, I've seen the test all about automation test frameworks and I know briefly now about data-driven framework. Why? The intent is very simple, team. You want to be discovered. And you know the paradox in this whole thing, team? You know who's going to look at actually discover, who's going to discover you? It's not the non-techie guy. The HR or the consulting company who has no clue. They're going to look at these things. And then the first evaluation will happen. And the focus then, first tech evaluation, is about some of your recent projects. And then they will not look at every keyword into it. They will talk about, okay, tell me about your last project. Tell me how much you don't know, Selenium. You say, no, you know what, I never worked on Selenium, but at least you have a chance. Maybe you're local, maybe they'll prefer a citizen over someone with H4 EAD or student who has the right skill. So that balancing can happen, team. If you cannot get to the telephonic interview, there's no point. You need the resume to talk about you. Do I make sense, team?
So here I want to add
Yep.
Karthik in this. I'll give a real example. Like I also give interviews and I get calls. Okay, at the senior level. So I generally I got call from recruiters, like Karthik was saying, recruiters, HRs. So they have a list from the JD job description. They have list like they want for this position a Selenium engineer who knows Java or C Sharp, or uh, who can write test cases, who can write test plan, write automation script, or he knows test-ng, JUnit. So they have list of all those skills, and that recruiter is going to ask you these points. Do you know WebDriver? You say yes or no, right? So if you say yes, okay, uh, how do you rate yourself in terms of 0 to 5 in that scale? So if you say 1, 2, so they might know, they might get to know that, okay, he just know about that. So you can say that if you just know about WebDriver, you can say I know, I rate myself 3 or 4, okay? So this way, all your skills will be judged. Like you know WebDriver, you know TestNG, you know JUnit. So they have list of those skills with them, and they are going to make a checkpoint. Okay, this guy knows this skill. Then your resume will be shortlisted, as Karthik was telling you. Otherwise, if you don't have mentioned those skills on your job portal or on your resume, you're not going to shortlist for that position. So this is very mandatory. You should mention those skills what Karthik has mentioned, and you should be prepared with that answers. Okay, I know this, I know this, I know this.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, so totally true, Manoj. So this is the industry team. It's not that you're talking to a client, end recruiter, or your future team lead or QA manager or delivery head. You're not. You're going to be talking to a lot of people in between who are trying to make sure that you're screened and certified to go to the next level. And if you don't have the right experience, of course, they're going to say, you know what, I can't push you forward. But then say, you know what, guys, listen, I'm an amazing talent. I can speak well, or I live next door, or I can come for a better price, or I have this specialty. You have an opportunity for conversation. It is resume, telephonic interview, in-person interview. These are the steps. You will not walk into any company for an interview unless it's a walk-in route, right? And that's at a very beginner level, and you never see walk-ins in at least like US. You may see it more in companies where they have large talent pool hiring and so on. But walk-ins don't happen. So this is your process. So that's the whole take team. That's how you got to really build on it. You have to have the right resume. You have to have the right keywords in it. You have to make sure that you repeat in the right manner. Talk truth. There's no question. You're going to talk the truth. Because once you lie, you're going to be found anytime in that. So you don't really want to be doing that. So Manoj, what other tips that could we provide for the audience, please?
Karthik, can I walk through them a sample resume
Sure,
so that I can show them what they can mention?
absolutely.
Okay, so okay, please make me presenter. All right.
Meanwhile, Olena Savinova, you have a question. And if you don't have 5 years, they say, I will call you later. Of course, you don't have it. But then what else is a specialty that you can do? So you need to get yourself there. All right, Manoj, all yours now.
Okay, all right, Karthik. So here I have a sample resume, and it is for a automation engineer. Okay, so what you need to mention. So I have seen people, they will mention like seeking a challenging job environment and all, blah blah blah. What they mention there, that is not required in at all. What any recruiter will look in your resume when you send him or her a soft copy or hard copy, so they will go through your resume. So whatever the bullet points you have mentioned, they are just going through that. They are not going to read whole your resume. So first thing, in professional summary, mention what you know, okay, and what we talked earlier, what skills you need to mention here. So all those things should go in bullet points. Don't write a paragraph or 10 paragraphs. There, nobody is going to read. Nobody has that much time. So like here, first bullet point should reflect your experience in that particular field. So suppose you have 8 years of experience in IT industry, which can be included software testing and automation, right? It can be manual as well and automation both. So some people are totally in manual, some people totally in automation, and some of mix of like manual, and then they move to automation. So you can mention that thing. So first point should be your experience. How much experience do you have? And if you want to divide in 2 bullet points, like I have 4 years of experience in manual testing and 4 years in automation, that is also perfectly fine. Okay. Then come on your basic skills, your expertise. Okay. So you can mention you are expert in Selenium automation, okay, using WebDriver, Java, JUnit, TestNG, uh, whatever the tools you have used in your automation career, okay, or if you know about those tools. So suppose you are working on a WebDriver with Java and JUnit, you can mention all those things. Not required to mention everything here, but what tools you know, or if you have gone through any videos or you know about basic things, you can mention here, okay. Other points any recruiter or any technical person will look for automation engineer, that person has worked on frameworks or not, because simple writing scripts is not automation, right? So that person will look which framework you have worked on, because you are not there, that person is just going through your resume. So he will search for these keywords, like if you have mentioned automation frameworks like page object model or keyword driven framework, so he will get to know, okay, this person has worked on these frameworks. So he should have an idea about these frameworks for what they are looking for, right? Then you can mention other things like you are good in Java, okay, you are good in Selenium WebDriver, you have executed and reported defects, okay. That is also very important for any automation engineer. If you are just writing your scripts, that is not done, okay. So you should know how to report a defect if you get, okay, and how to send the results to the team, okay. uh, and then you can mention all those skills, you know, like uh, you worked on agile team, your agile QA, okay, and the other tools like qtp, you know, qtp, soap UI, web services concepts, uh, and extensive QA experience in all phases of testing lifecycle, okay. So these some terms team are very important. Testing lifecycle, SDLC, okay. So these are keywords will talk a lot, okay. And when you go for interviews, please make sure that some keywords, whatever you are mentioning here, you should be prepared with that, because if you mention testing life cycle, they are definitely going to ask this question, what is testing life cycle, okay. Or any other keyword if you have mentioned like a page object model, what is page object model? So don't just write here, at least uh, prepare for these. If you have worked on this, that well and good. Otherwise, just know about it. What is page object model? What is the architecture of that framework? So whatever the keywords you mention in this resume, please go through at least once. Otherwise, just writing blindly and going for the interview, you are not going to crack it. They will ask from these bullet points team. I have seen many interviewers, they just mark it, highlight it like page object model. Okay, tell me about the architecture of the page object model, what it is, what is the benefit of it. Okay, if you tell I have worked on keyword framework, Okay, they're going to ask, okay, tell me the architecture, how you manage folders, how you manage data. All these things they are going to ask. So be prepared for these things. Okay, so suppose I have mentioned QTP here and SOAP UI. So you should know what is SOAP UI does. Okay, or any other tool you are mentioning, be prepared for those kind of questions. Okay, and yeah, some points like feasibility of test cases. You should analyze those test cases. You have ability or not, because every automation test engineer should be in the position to analyze that particular test can be automated or not. Okay, you should be good in SQL, because that is a mandatory skill for any engineer, QA engineer. Okay, whether it is automation or manual. So you should be good in some concept of SQL, basic queries, not that much database design and all. And these things actually reflect your skill set. So please make sure that you mention, and it will also help you to get shortlisted as we were talking skills you have. Okay, in technical skills, you can mention what automation tools you have worked on. Okay, what languages you know, what defect management tools you have worked on, testing frameworks if you know any, like TestNG, JUnit, build tools if you know, web servers if you have worked any time. So all these things you can mention in a technical skills. This will also help any technical person to judge you, okay, what you have worked on in your whole career. Okay, and then your education, work experience you can mention. Okay, in work experience you can mention uh, like how many companies you have worked on, for how many years, duration of those things, like. And then comes to your projects. So I have seen resume where people mention uh, 10 paragraphs for their company or their project. So do you think they have time to read all these things yeah, about your company, about your project? No, they are not going to read. Even if I take interview, I don't see what you have written in for organization or for the project, because you are there. I will ask you, tell me about the project. I'm not going to read in this resume of 10 line of paragraphs. Okay. The main thing I will look is roles and responsibility you have taken in your current project, okay, or the resume, whatever the projects you have mentioned. So what you did, so you should mention if you have worked on page object model, so implemented page object model using this tool. uh, I created a regression suite, okay, perform defect tracking and management in Jira, all these things. I worked in agile environment. Okay, so all those things you can mention, okay, as your roles and responsibility. That is the main points any person will look in your resume. All right, so don't mention about anything apart from this. Just organization name, designation, and the roles and responsibility uh, you have done for, right? Nothing else required. No company information details, no project details required. Just the roles and responsibility anybody will be interested in. Okay, and same thing will be applicable for any manual QA engineer. Okay, so you can mention I have written test cases, I have worked on test plans, I have executed, I reported defects in Jira or ALM. Uh, so different things of those terminology of manual testing uh, or software testing you can include in roles and responsibilities. So any question on this? Karthik, do you want to add anything?
Yeah, definitely. So Manoj, I think great. And I'm totally with you on this, Manoj. And I'm trying to answer the questions on chats also that are coming parallelly. I'll try and put them in the YouTube channel so everyone can see it. once we upload this video. Okay, so can you scroll up, please?
Sure, Karthik.
So one of the questions that came up is, should we highlight any keywords and all that? I said, absolutely yes, why not? You should highlight, because the end reader will focus. Search engines will not matter, but the end reader, yes. And then look at this, for example. Let's say someone wants to search for selenium, just to shortlist. The client only wants a manual tester, but searching for selenium kind of gives an edge. Or looking, everyone wants to please someone else in this industry team. That's the point of the game. Everyone wants to please somebody else, be it your lead, be it your manager, your boss, whatever. So they want to give more than what is asked. And when a role comes perfectly fitting your resume, perfect. But how about over delivering? Now in this resume, if you see, Selenium has been used in professional summary maybe 2 places. Why don't we add it in 2 more places in the summary? Something,
Yes, Karthik, we can. Yeah.
yeah, 3 places. So first, second bullet, and then fourth bullet. So I'm saying even Selenium IDE, in the same bullet point, we can also say that Selenium migration from Selenium IDE to uh, you know JUnit TestNG scripts,
WebDriver. Yeah.
WebDriver, yeah, and so on. Moved from Selenium Server and RC to Selenium WebDriver. It's not bad team, because today, and I use Selenium word so much because it is the king in the market. Absolutely, there's no question about it. Right, Manoj?
Correct, Karthik. Yeah.
While we have the agile testing, performance testing, HP UFT, Jira, Bugzilla, and so on, but still the Selenium developer word keeps kind of echoing multiple times. And yes, talk about SQL, talk about some web services a little bit, even if you're not doing it. One question that I got is experienced, extensive, expertise. You have to use some kind of an adjective to it, team. So using that adjective makes sense. And that's the reason I think those words should continue to be there. Just scroll down a little bit, please. Technical skills area, Manoj. Yep.
Okay.
So see, there are languages. It just says Java. It doesn't say C, C++, or Visual Basic. We're not trying to boil it and dilute it. Someone looks at it, okay, Java, TestNG, JUnit, Maven, VBScript, it's there. You don't need to overdo it here, team. Don't put everything that you know from childhood. Don't say that, you know what, I went to Kumon for mathematics. All that is not necessary, team. What is relevant in today's world? That should be there. And then talk about your education. Again, don't too much emphasize, team, because education does not matter in a huge way when it comes to IT industry in the QA field. Yes, you're a BE, Bachelor of Engineering, or you've done your degree. Have you done your master's or MBA or your PhD? It doesn't help beyond that. Do you have the right skill? Do you have the minimal requirements of education to be met for the job? That's it. Work experience. Scroll down, please. So you need to have
So in work experience, Karthik, they can just mention.
yes,
Yeah.
and also mention the title of the role. Automation test engineering. Just don't say QA engineer, team. Use QA engineer, in brackets say manual automation with QTP, or say Selenium. Something like that. Why, team? Because believe me, 99.9% of the views are happening for search engines. It is not the human reader. It is happening for a robot. And you have to get it friendly for that. That is where it becomes very important. So mention it even in your title. Start date, end date. No, start month, end month. And talk about the role, title, the company or client. That's it. And professional experience. And most of the resumes, team, won't go beyond the last 2 projects that you've done. So you have, let's say, 10 projects that you worked in your career, even for 2 years or 3 years, whatever. You don't go to the first project and start, what did you do in your first job? It's very rare thing. So the first top 2 projects or the recent most should be very rich. And personal details, what else? Location, uh, I don't think anything else. Don't talk about hobbies and your extracurricular activities, not needed, man. Neither search engine is interested, nor the end client is. Once you get in, then start socializing. But you don't need to keep anything irrelevant. And you don't need a signature saying that everything is true to the best of my knowledge. All that is absolute crap. Leave that. Keep the content relevant, keep the keywords, eliminate any extra language. The thing I like about these responsibilities in this professional experience is very short. It's only got keywords. Look at it, team. It does not have a total paragraph or a sentence saying, I am part of a 20-member team where I've done this. That is your interview talk over a telephone or in person. Your resume should be only crisp, brief bullet points. All right. Great. Thanks, Manoj. So team, lot of questions. I think we've got a huge audience, over 116 people. So I've answered a lot of questions on chat while Manoj was speaking. So I hope most of it has come to everyone. So, and we're like another 5-10 minutes away, team. So I want to try and get some things done with Amulya as well for the job boards. But before that, a few quick questions. So Chris Singleton, will we speak about going on face-to-face interview? I'm told I do well in them and still not getting the role. How to overcome that issue? Okay, so face-to-face and telephonic interview, team, we're doing day after. So we're going to get there. Today we're trying to beat that ghost, which is all virtual. And we'll talk a little bit about that a lot more. So team, there are another 15-20 questions that are unanswered yet in the list. I'll still want to start with Amulya and give her a chance to present a few things. If need be, we'll do a third session as well, and we'll go through all of them. But Amulya, so Manoj, anything?
Yes, Karthik.
All right, you there. So anything else before you we switch there?
No, Karthik.
All right, great. So just to let you know, team, the same things that we're discussing here has been done at length in that half-a-day placement thing. It's like a 4-5 hours program overall, where I've kind of consolidated all these points. JPAC members, you have the access to it. And for JPAC, we're going to walk you through it. But we want you to work on this, do that initial things, then get us the resume so we can review. If you get me a bad resume to look at, I'm going to send it back and say work on it again. Very simple. So you need to put your effort there. All right. So Amulya team is everyone. Amulya is part of my organization. Manoj is as well. But Amulya is focused more on JPAC. She's speaking with the companies, the consulting organizations, the end clients to try and get the JPAC members into the requirements and pull them into those job requirements there. So she has been working in helping the JPAC members to get a little bit on board with the job boards and so on. So little things that she wants to show today, let me make her the presenter. So what Amulya is primarily going to do, team, is how do we take this resume that you built and put it into any of the top job portals. So as per your knowledge, team, and do mention the country you are attending this session from. What is the top job portals in your country? Can you get that from the audience? So I see Dice, Indeed, Dice, Indeed, Indeed, Monster, Dice, Indeed, Indeed, Dice, Indeed, Indeed, Monster, Dice, Monster, Workopolis, Glassdoor, Indeed, Glassdoor in Canada. No one's put country, guys. Glassdoor, Monster, Dice, TechFetch, Indeed, Glassdoor, Careerability, Dice, Zip Recruiter. I'm only trying to see some unique names, team. Seek, LinkedIn, USA jobs, LinkedIn. There you go, amazing. Awesome. So irrespective of the job platform, now Steam, in fact, I have seen a few names that even I am not aware. Looks like there are about 7 to 8 choices. You need to take them all on and you need to start putting it in every job board. Why not? They're all free for a yes, right? They're all free. Maybe something is paid, you don't want to get there, that's fine. But they're all free. So you can put it everywhere. That is the effort you have to do. Lot of time people don't even finish the right resume. That is a big challenge. So team, maybe Amulya, we can start with another 5 minutes max, just the process of creating a profile or uploading it, and then we'll continue with you in the after session so the audience can take it from there.
Sure, Karthik.
Thank you.
Hello team, all of you able to see my screen, right?
Yes.
Great. So as Karthik mentioned, we have many job portals. So I'm just picking one of the job portals, that is Career Builder, just like a demo session over here. So this is how the screen is, and we have the option add resume. So as soon as you go to Career Builder site, you have this option add resume. So when you go there, so it's very simple, not many fields that you have to enter. You just have to enter your job title that you're looking out for. So here I have a demo resume with me, a dummy profile, wherein it's specifically QA lead or say QA analyst. So I'm just mentioning that here. And the location, just mentioning it as Jersey City. So it's asking for the zip code. Let me just quickly do that. So once this is verified, we can go and upload our profile. So the upload is done, and now I'm saying continue. So when you say continue here, you get the fields wherein you can register, wherein you can create your account. So I've already created this account when you can just give your information like first name, last name, the email ID, your password, and just re-enter the fields and whatever is required. So I've created all these. So once you sign up here, you'll get all the profiles or all the jobs, the matching jobs that you have. It will keep coming to your email or the registered profile that you've done. So for this particular resume, we have uploaded the resume in multiple portals like Monster, Dice, Career Builder, Indeed, and from there you keep getting all the recommended jobs wherein you can go and apply for different jobs. You can save jobs, you can create alerts. You can also get weekly alerts wherein if there is a particular location that you're looking out for, you keep getting weekly alerts where you have jobs in that particular location. So that way you can have a good track on what jobs are there in the current market and how you need to approach for it. So Karthik, something specifically like the mail is something that you want me to show?
No, thank you, Amulya. So can we go back to the post your resume tab with the career builder?
Sure.
So here team, and let's go back to step 1, please. Maybe back. Yeah. So you should try and put as many keywords as it can permit in that add resume. And some websites will actually ask you to enter the details of your experience and skill sets and so on. Like you build your resume, give a lot of effort for it and build that. So for example, in the ad resume, um, still not seeing Amulya's screen. It's loading, I guess. Yeah. The title, right? What is the job title we're looking at? So QA engineer or QA lead is fine, but what if someone is testing for manual tester, automation engineer? So if I put QA lead, automation engineer, they're searching, it will not come up, right? So we can say QA lead, automation engineer, uh, Selenium testing, something like that, or uh, test engineer and then Selenium automation, as much as it can permit, team, as much as your website can permit. It will limit us and so on, but then you have those things. The reason is we want to be found. Yes, your resume has to be in a doc, PDF and so on, so that it's also search friendly, it's keyword friendly. And always make it public. If you hide your resume and contact info, you're not going to get anything, team. But again, there's a lot more to talk about it. I think we have kind of over our time with it, and we created this dummy resume, dummy profile to like work and see how do these websites really work, to master that art of doing it right. And are we getting notifications? Are we setting up the right alerts? That's the reason we're going through these dummy profiles and trying to put them there. Yeah, so team, it's a large audience, many questions that have come up. Here is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this into the second session and continue from there. And if needed, we'll do a third session following so we can go through a lot of Q&A. All the questions that are unanswered as of today, I'll try and answer a few of them. But any unanswered questions, we'll try and consolidate them into somewhere and get you there. All right. Thank you, Amulya. Thank you, Manoj. So I'm just more from a time perspective and the fact that we have so many questions coming in, we would love to answer them, but let's take it into day two and work on them from there. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for now. We'll see you back in 2 days for the continuation of this session. Take care all. Bye now.
Hi everyone.